Hi again folks, how's all doing? Some time ago, a chap called Laurie in Australia got in touch with me asking if I'd like to have an old Bachmann V1 in LNAR green as a donation. I think I may have mentioned I was after a V1 in a previous video or something, I can't quite remember. However, at the time I was planning on picking up one of the newer Bachmann V1s for my birthday present. So I thanked Laurie but gracefully declined the offer. However, he did say that the offer stood if something happened and I didn't get the V1 as planned. Now, when it came to buying the V1 for my birthday, I really thought I would have been able to pick one up at Model Rail Scotland, but there wasn't one to be had. But of course I got the Hornby 2MT instead, which is a fabulous model, and of course my sisters bought me the Flying Scotsman. So all thought the V1 kind of went out of my head at the time, and I completely forgot about Laurie's offer. However, he emailed me recently to ask if I would still like to have it, seeing as I didn't get one for my birthday. So a massive thank you to Laurie for the initial offer and for contacting me again to say he was still willing to send it. This time I was more than happy to accept his offer, so thanks again to Laurie for actually sending this all the way from Australia. Yet again, the generosity of you guys never ceases to amaze me. So here it is. Let's just open it up. It's an old split chassis model, but it looks very nice actually. You may just have spotted there that the motion bracket's broken on the valve gear, so this won't run out of the box. But let's open it up. Push it out. So here it is. Looks very nice. It's a shame about the motion bracket being broken, but I'm sure we can fix that. Let's just check the axles, seeing as this is split chassis. That seems okay. That seems okay. No, that one's loose. So we've got the usual Bachmann split chassis axle problem, but we can sort that. Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much to Laurie. So we'll shove her into the shed and see if we can sort her out. Alright, okay, let's get a look at this. So we know the valve gear is broken. We'll get a closer look at that when we get the body off. And yeah, that rear axle certainly is shot. So we'll put new axles in. It's got pickups on the front bogie. Not quite sure Bachmann bothered with that, doesn't really need it. Right, okay, we'll open this up and we'll see what's what. There's a screw there. We have to take this rear bogie off. I've looked at one of these before a long time ago. I think it was a British Railways black or LNER black. I've got to undo that screw as well. But all the split chassis models are much of a muchness underneath. That out. Now we can get to that screw. This should now lift out. Come on. There we are, just needed a bit of persuasion. Where's that come off? Oh, it's come off of there. So that retaining peg, the head's broken off it there, and that holds, well, it holds the two halves of the chassis together at the front, but it also holds that pickup in place there, the terminal for the pickup. I think I've got another one of these. I've got a couple of old split chassis in my scrap box. I'm sure I'll have one of them. But basically that screw goes right through and fits into a sort of a plastic peg, and that's the head of it that's come off. But yeah, there's the broken valve gear now. Oh dear. That wheel's come out, so that axle's definitely shot. So there should be a little plastic peg on the motion bracket there, and that's it in there, because that's where it plugs into. So it's broken off. Right, okay, we'll probably need to drill that out. We'll go onto the Bachmann website and see if we can get a replacement part for that, and we'll order up some new axles from Peter Spares. So a couple of days later, I've got my axles from Peter Spares. I've found a little retaining peg to go through the body to replace that broken one there, but I've not been able to source a replacement for this motion bracket. Bachmann don't do them, and I don't see any anywhere else. So I think, well, what do I think? I think I've got a problem, that's what I think. I might just have to resort to just trying to glue that on with metal epoxy. I think I'm going to try a bit of super glue first, because metal epoxy would take, ages to set. So I think we'll just try a bit of super glue. Let's get this under frame off and we'll see what state everything else is in. Right, get that off. Yeah, that's my own truly shot. What are the other ones like? That one seems okay. And the drive gear seems okay. Right, we'll give this a bit of a scoosh out. Just get some of the rubbish off the axles with a manky brush. Get a few fibres in here. Just having another look at the axles, because once you clean them up, sometimes the cracks become more visible. But these seem okay, so that's good. So we just need to replace that one. One new axle. Just want to check the back to back on the two other axles. 14.8. That's way too wide. In fact, it's up at 15. 14.6. Oh dear, oh dear. So these are going to have to come in a bit. 14.1. 14.1. That's better. It's more like it. Okay. That one there. Make sure we get it quartered correctly. They self-quarter because of the square holes in the axles. So that's going to want to go like that. Right, I'm going to undo the rods and take these wheels out to put them in the vise, because when you squeeze them together with your fingers, you get to a point where it's kind of stuck, but it needs to be moved in a bit more, and you squeeze with your fingers and it goes poof, and goes to its minimum back to back, which is too narrow. And it's usually at that point the new axle can split, or when you try to pull them apart again, that they split. So we shall undo the crank pins and get this out. There we go. Right, okay. So stick these in the vise, give them a wee squeeze. Okay, after a little squeeze in the vise, these are up at 14. That'll do. Okay, a touch of oil on the axles, just a spot. And we shall put this back on. Okay, that should be the axles sorted. Let's sort this, where is it? This little peg. Is this going to come out? No. There's a surprise. We have to push this out. Oof. I had a horrible feeling that was going to happen. Gets that out. So this is actually off a mainline split chassis, but I think it'll fit. Push it in there. Please fit. You can just see that the end of this is split. And I've got to try and get it through there and then through that hole there, which if it wasn't split would be easy, but even squeezing that together, it's still a little bit wider than it should be. Yeah, I've got it through the brass terminal. Now, can I get it through this hole? You can see why I've left the gluing this valve here till last, because I want to give it every chance of success. Because it won't actually be under much stress under normal use, but when the model's been handled like this, the chances are it will just get broken again. So we'll leave that till last. See if we can get this pushed through. I don't see any reason why that won't go through. Bit of force required, I think. There we go. Should screw into there. So there we are, I've got the contacts for the front bogie pickups secured with the screw and the plastic peg that goes through the chassis and helps keep the chassis together, but insulates it. Alright, okay, let's see what we can do about this. So I think we'll try and just super gluing that on directly. It might just hold it enough. As I say, under normal use, it's not really under any stress. So it might just be okay. We could try metal epoxy, but that takes a long time to set. So we'll try and spot super glue first. So spot the super glue. This is industrial grade super glue, so it's good stuff. And then pop this on. Like so. We'll leave that a wee while to set and see if it holds. Okay, so that's glued on. Hopefully it'll be secure enough. We'll stick a battery on this, see if it works. If you're going to battery test a split chassis like this by putting the battery terminals on either half of the chassis, for goodness sake, don't hold the two halves of the chassis. You'll give yourself a fair wee electric shock, you'd be surprised. So hold it by the cylinders because they're plastic. There we go. Right, let's get some gear oil into this. A generous amount of gear oil in that one gear. That'll work its way down into the intermediate gear and onto the drive gear. And we shall pop this on the test track. And here she goes. Just before we put the body on, we'll get some oil into the linkages. Just go in there, I think. It's quite a tight fit. That goes down there. That. And we've got that spring goes over there. That thing goes on to the here like that. Okay, the axles on the bogies seem okay, they're not split. Alright, I think we're done. Nice. Right, okay. Let's go and give my V1 a run round the layout. Okay then, let's bring her out.
Right, so that's this old Bachmann split chassis class V1/3 sorted out, and the latest addition to my fleet. A nice runner actually. Often the old split chassis models have slight wobbles and make little thumping noises, but this one's pretty smooth. Thanks very much again to Laurie for sending me this all the way from Australia. Probably cost to send it what you'd expect to pay for one of these here in the UK, so a big thumbs up to him. As I expected, it needed some work on the axles, which nearly all of these old split chassis models do. The broken motion bracket seems to have glued okay. It's not really under any stress when running, so I'll just need to be very careful when handling it, that's all. But yeah, very pleased to have a nice V1 in LNAR green. I've had one on my to get list for a wee while, so thanks very much again to Laurie. Right, okay folks, catch you later.